Welcome back to Island of the Mesozoic. Here we see Teardrop, hungry and alone. It seems Teardrop's not alone for long. A small pack of scavengers wants to add Teardrop to their pack. Teardrop accepts the request, for he has no one to accompany him. The scavenger pack is made up of an old friend, Connor, somebody we've never seen before, Bruno, and their leader, Bloodcrest. The pack goes to find food with their new member, Teardrop, on Island the Mesozoic. They stop at a little rocky area where they will stay for quite a while. You may not know this, Bloodcrest is one of the only female leaders of a carnivore pack. It's quite rare that a female leads a carnivore pack, especially on Island of the Mesozoic. It is now getting dark, and here we see Cameron, Cherry, Stego, and Bella. They're looking for food in the dark. But even though it's getting late, it doesn't stop a specific species of carnivore from hunting them. Claw prepares to make the first move. Claw attacks Bella. But Bella fights back. But today, the raptors don't get so lucky because the herbivores run. They have lost the raptors, but they're very cold, and there's nowhere else that could be possibly warmer during this season. Cherry is not feeling well. This weather is getting to Cherry. We don't know if she'll make it through. Here we see Blade on a tree. This is Blade's home for now. It's a very cold season, and Blade needs to rest. He will not make it to the other side of the island where it's warm. He'll freeze if he tries. So Blade stays at the warmest possible tree he could find. Here we see two young Apatosaurus, Grazer and Grain. They are wandering through the dark. They are not alone in the dark. This is Crusher, and he is wanting to attack them. Just as these two young seem hopeless to the Ceratosaurus, the Ceratosaurus is killed by a much bigger force, and the young start to run. This bigger force is Charles, who has gone enraged ever since his mate was killed by Hatchet, the Allosaurus. After eating for a while, Charles rests, while the corpse is vulnerable to scavengers. And one little one we've seen before comes for it. Yes, he's been surviving the cold season. It's Bandit. He's having a hard time because of the cold. Finding food is very difficult. He cannot hunt, for he is too small and too cold and vulnerable. Here during this late night is the herbivore herd. Now, the herbivore herd is quite scattered during this season, so that they can each find food separately. But this is the biggest part of it. With the leader of the herd, Bullhorn, the Diabloceratops, Ember, the Ankylosaurus, Andy, the Pachyrhinosaurus, Tank, two Parasaurolophus, Hadro and Lily, and the Maiasaura, Mark. Bullhorn is Cherry's father, and they are all eating. Bullhorn's son, Mike, is with the other half of the herd. It was not Bullhorn's choice, of course. Mike insisted on going that way. Lily is Hadro's only child left, ever since Hadro's son was killed by the raptor. They're all here at one of the only leaves they could have found. They're digging in. The herbivores go to sleep, and they were the last awake for the night. Now, we'll see what happens in the morning, for the dark night is now over. It's early morning now, and we see 3 herbivores, 2 of which we've already met, Red-Eye and Bash. This is Scythe, a Therizinosaurus, which is a quite rare species on the island. But it would seem they're not alone. Here we see Token and his father, Core. Once Core sees Scythe, he immediately backs off, and they run away. Over here, we see Leopard. He is a Dimetrodon, one of the only left on the island. There's not a lot of this species. But Leopard needs to get food and get out fast, because he thinks that something is nearby. He tries to get a drink by taking some snow. And then he runs away because he sees it, the thing that was watching him. This is Caesar. Caesar had a mate, but Caesar's mate is dead, and Caesar's left alone to raise Little Tooth. Little Tooth and Caesar are not entirely alone, because Caesar has his brother. Tyranno, Little Tooth, and Caesar are the 3 most deadly T-Rexes on the island, and they should be feared by all herbivores and other creatures because they work together. Tune in next time on Island of the Mesozoic when stuff actually does start to get real.